Wonder, pages 158 to 153. Season's Greetings. Weirdly enough, when we got back home and Mom brought in the mail, there were holiday cards from both Julian's family and August's family. Julian's holiday card was a picture of Julian wearing a tie, looking like he was about to go to the opera or something. August's holiday card was of a cute old dog wearing reindeer antlers, a red nose, and red booties. There was a cartoon bubble above the dog's head that read, "Ho, ho, ho!" On the inside of the card it read, "To the Will family, peace on earth. Love Nate, Isabel, August, and Daisy." "Cute card, huh?" I said to Mom, who had hardly said a word to me all the way home. I think she honestly just didn't know what to say. "That must be their dog," I said. "Do you want to tell me what's going on inside your head, Jack?" she answered me seriously. "I bet they put a picture of their dog on the card every year," I said. She took the card from my hands and looked at the picture carefully. Then she raised her eyebrows and her shoulders and gave me back the card. "We're very lucky, Jack. There's so much we take for granted." "I know," I said. I knew what she was talking about without her having to say it. I heard Julian's mom actually photoshopped August's face out of the class picture when she got it. She gave a copy of it to a couple of their moms. "That's just awful," said Mom. "People are just... they're not always so great." "I know." "Is that why you hit Julian?" "No." And then I told her why I punched Julian. I told her that August was now my ex-friend, and I told her all about Halloween. Letters, emails, Facebook, texts. December 18th. Dear Mr. Tushman, I am very, very sorry for punching Julian. It was very, very wrong for me to do that. I am writing a letter to him to tell him that too. If it's okay, I would rather not tell you why I did what I did, because it really doesn't make it right anyway. Also, I would rather not make Julian get in trouble for having said something he should not have said. Very sincerely, Jack Will. December 18th. Dear Julian, I am very, very sorry for hitting you. It was wrong of me. I hope you are okay. I hope your grown-up tooth grows in fast. Mine always do. Sincerely, Jack Will. December 26th. Dear Jack, thank you so much for your letter. One thing I've learned after being a middle school director for 20 years, there are almost always more than two sides to every story. Although I don't know the details, I have an inkling about what may have sparked the confrontation with Julian. While nothing justifies striking another student, ever, I also know good friends are sometimes worth defending. This has been a tough year for a lot of students, as the first year of middle school usually is. Keep up the good work and keep being the fine boy we all know you are. All the best, Lawrence Tushman, Middle School Director. To L. Tushman at beecherschool.edu, CC John Will, Amanda Will, from Melissa Albans at rmail.com. Subject, Jack Will. Dear Mr. Tushman, I spoke to Amanda and John Will yesterday, and they expressed their regret at Jack's having punched our son in the mouth. I am writing to let you know that my husband and I support your decision to allow Jack to return to Beecher Prep after a 2-day suspension. Although I think that hitting a child would be valid grounds for expulsion in other schools, I agree that such extreme measures aren't warranted here. We have known the Will family since our boys were in kindergarten, and are confident that every measure will be taken to ensure that this doesn't happen again. And to that end, I wonder if Jack's unexpectedly violent behavior might have been a result of too much pressure being placed on his young shoulders. I am speaking specifically of the new child with special needs who both Jack and Julian were asked to befriend. In retrospect, and now having seen the child in question at various school functions and in class pictures, I think it may have been too much to ask of our children to be able to process that. Certainly, when Julian mentioned he was having a hard time befriending the boy, we told him he was off the hook in that regard. We think the transition to middle school is hard enough without having to place greater burdens or hardships on these young, impressionable minds. I should also mention that as a member of the school board, I was a little disturbed that more consideration wasn't given during this child's application process to the fact that Beecher Prep is not an inclusion school. There are many parents, myself included, who question the decision to let this child into our school at all. At the very least, I am somewhat troubled that this child was not held at the same stringent application standards, for example, the interview, that the rest of the incoming middle school students were. Best, Melissa Perper Albans. To Melissa Albans from L. Tushman. Subject, Jack Will. Dear Mrs. Albans, thank you for your email outlining your concerns. Were I not convinced that Jack Will is extremely sorry for his actions, and were I not confident that he would not repeat those actions, rest assured I would not be allowing him back to Beecher Prep. As for your concerns regarding our new student August, please note that he does not have special needs. He is neither disabled, handicapped, nor developmentally delayed in any way. So there was no reason to assume anyone would take issue with his admittance to Beecher Prep, whether it is an inclusion school or not. In terms of the application process, the admissions director and I both felt within our right to hold an interview off-site at August's home for reasons that are obvious. We felt that this slight break in protocol was warranted, but in no way prejudiced in one way or another to the application review. August is an extremely good student and has secured the friendship of some truly exceptional people, including Jack Will. At the beginning of the school year, I enlisted certain children to be a welcoming committee to August. I did so as a way of easing his transition to a school environment. I did not think asking these children to be especially kind to a new student would place any extra burdens or hardships on them. In fact, I thought it would teach them a thing or two about empathy and friendships and loyalty. As it turns out, Jack Will didn't need to learn any of these virtues. He already had them in abundance. Thank you again for being in touch. Sincerely, Lawrence Tushman. To Melissa Albans from John Will. Subject, Jack. Hi, Melissa. Thank you for being so understanding about this incident with Jack. He is, as you know, extremely sorry for his actions. I hope you do accept our offer to pay Julian's dental bills. We are very touched by your concern regarding Jack's friendship with August. Please note we have asked Jack if he felt any undue pressure about any of this, and the answer was a result no. He enjoys August's company and feels that he has made a good friend. Hope you have a happy new year. John and Amanda Will. Hi, August. Jackalope Will wants to be friends with you on Facebook. Jackalope Will, 32 mutual friends. Thanks, the Facebook team. To Augie Doggy Pullman at email.com. Message, sorry. Hey, August. It's me, Jack Will. I noticed I'm not on your friends list anymore. Hope you friend me again, 'cause I'm really sorry. I just wanted to say that. Sorry. I know you're mad at me now. I'm sorry I didn't mean the stuff I said. I was stupid. I hope you can forgive me. Hope we can be friends again. Jack. One new text message from August. December 31st, 4:47 p.m. Got your message. You know why I'm mad at you now? Did Summer tell you? One new text message from Jack Will. She told me Bleeding Scream as a hint, but I didn't get it at first. Then I remember seeing Bleeding Scream in homeroom on Halloween. I didn't know it was you. Thought you were coming as Boba Fett. One new text message from August. I changed my mind at the last minute. Did you really punch Julian? One new text message from Jack Will. Yeah, I punched him. Knocked out a tooth in the back. A baby tooth. One new text message from August. Why'd you punch him? One new text message from Jack Will. Oh, I don't know. One new text message from August. Liar, I bet he said something about me, right? One new text message from Jack Will. He's a jerk, but I was a jerk too. Really, really sorry for what I said, dude, okay? Can we be friends again? One new text message from August. Okay. One new text message from Jack Will. Awesome. One new text message from August. But tell me the truth, okay? Would you really want to kill yourself if you were me? One new text message from Jack Will. No! I swear on my life. But dude, I would want to kill myself if I were Julian. One new text message from August. LOL. Yes, dude, we're friends again. Back from winter break. Despite what Tushman said, there was no clean slate when I went back to school in January. In fact, things were totally weird from the second I got my locker in the morning. I'm next to Amos, who's always been a pretty straight-up kid, and I was like, yo, what up? And he basically nodded a half hello, closed his locker door, and left. I was like, okay, that was bizarre. Then I said, "Hey, what up?" to Henry, who didn't even bother half smiling but just looked away. Okay, something's up. Dissed by 2 people in less than 5 minutes. Not that anyone's counting. I thought I'd try one more time with Tristan. Boom, same thing. He actually looked nervous, like he was afraid of me. I've got a form of the plague now. That's what I thought. This is Julian's payback. And that's pretty much how it went all morning. Nobody talked to me. Not true. The girls were totally normal with me, and August talked to me, of course. And actually, I have to say, both Maxes said hello, which made me feel kind of bad for never ever hanging out with them in 5 years I've been in their class. I hoped lunch would be better, but it wasn't. I sat down at my usual table with Luca and Isaiah. I guess I thought since they weren't in the super popular group, they were kind of middle of the road jock kids that I'd be safe with. But they barely nodded when I said hello. Then, when our table was called, they got their lunches and never came back. I saw them find a table way over at the end of the other end of the cafeteria. They weren't at Julian's table, but they were near him, like on the fringe of popularity. So anyway, I'd been ditched. I knew the table switching was something that happened in 5th grade, but I never thought it would happen to me. It felt really weird being at a table by myself. I felt like everyone was watching me. It also made me feel like I had no friends. I decided to skip lunch and go read in the library. The war. It was Charlotte who had the inside scoop on why everyone was dissing me. I found a note inside my locker at the end of the day. Meet me in room 301 right after school. Come by yourself. Charlotte. She was already inside the room when I walked in. Sup, I said. Hey, she said. She went over to the door, looked left and right, and then closed the door and locked it from the inside. She turned and looked me in the face, started biting at her nail as she talked. Look, I feel bad for what's going on, and I just want to tell you what I know. Promise you won't tell anyone I talk to you? Promise. So Julian had this huge holiday party over winter break. I mean huge. My sister's friend had her sweet 16 party at the same place last year. There were like 200 people there, so I mean it's a huge place. Yeah, well, pretty much everyone in the whole grade was there. Not everybody, I joked. Right, not everyone, duh. But like even parents were there, you know. Like my parents were there. You know Julian's mom is vice president of the school board, right? She knows a lot of people. So anyway, basically what happened at the party was that Julian went around telling everyone that you punched him in the mouth because you had emotional problems. What? And that you would have gotten expelled, but his parents begged the school not to expel you. What? And that none of this would have happened in the first place if Tushman wouldn't have forced you to be friends with Augie. He said his mom thinks that you were quote-unquote snapped under pressure. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. No one bought into that, right? I said. She shrugged. That's not even the point. The point is he's really popular. And you know, my mom heard that his mom is actually pushing the school to review Augie's application to Beecher. Can she do that? It's about Beecher not being an inclusion school. A type of school that mixes normal kids with special needs. That's just stupid. Augie doesn't have special needs. Yeah, but she's saying if the school is changing the way they usually do things in some ways. But they're not changing anything. Yeah, they did. Didn't you notice they changed the theme of the New Year's art show? In the past, 5th graders painted self-portraits. But this year they made us do those ridiculous self-portraits of animals, remember? So big freaking deal. I know, I'm not saying I agree. I'm just saying what she's saying. I know, it's just so messed up.